do this because I want to give this the props it deserves. I'm going to introduce Dr. Andrew Campbell, who most of you would know as Dr. ABC. Dr. Andrew B. Campbell, or Dr. ABC, is an assistant professor teaching stream in leadership for racial justice in teacher education in the Master of Teaching program at the Ontario Institute for Studies in Education, known as OISE, University of Toronto. He is the coordinator for the Black Future Educators program and the director for the Center of Black Studies in Education, a CBSC. Professor Campbell is known to the OISE and wider community for his leadership on advancing equity, leadership, the 2S LGBTQIA plus community, and teacher education. His exemplary work has seen numerous awards bestowed to him, such as the recent 2026 Award for Excellence in Educational Leadership from the University of Toronto, a 2024 recipient of the Black History Month Award from the Jamaica Canadian Association, the 2022 Award for Excellence in Initial Teacher Education from University of Toronto, the 2021 Distinguished African Caribbean Award from the University of Toronto African Alumni Association, the 2021 Champion Educator Award from the Ontario Alliance of Black School Educators, and numerous others. His scholarship and teaching focus on anti-oppressive educational practices, 2S LGBTQIA plus issues in education, leadership and diversity, educational change, urban education, and Black educators, pedagogy and practice. He has presented at numerous conferences and has delivered many presentations as a keynote speaker, motivational speaker, and workshop facilitator. He loves people, food, fashion, traveling, and bringing his community together for a good meal. Give it up, give the flowers, the props, the everything to Dr. Andrew Campbell, Dr. ABC, who is going to take us home today.
Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. You know, life is so funny. As you're reading off my bio just now, I'm smiling, and something just jumped into my thoughts. Your theme is Roots of Freedom, Futures of Power. And I'm listening to all my accolades and listening to all the awards, and I said to myself, someone with all of those qualifications and accolades should walk in his power. I don't know who that message is for. It's not for me. It just dropped right. It's not nowhere on my paper, but I felt it, and I want to leave that with someone. I'm listening to you introducing me, and you're giving all the accolades, my qualification, and my awards. And I said to myself, someone with all of that accolades and awards must walk in his power, must walk in their power, must walk in her power. Whoever you are listening to me, and you have all these qualification accolades, you have done well, and you are struggling, I want you to realize this is for you. You have to stop it. I don't know where this energy is coming from. I don't even start my keynote, but I need to say that. There's 326 of us right now in this online event. And I can tell you, there are often times you hear black folk, especially black folks, we are struggling with this imposter syndrome. I want you to stop this foolishness. You are qualified, you are able, you are a leader, you have done the work. I want you to learn to walk in your power. Far too often, there are black folks in your offices, the OPS, your black folks in the CRA where I'm just coming from for an event, black folks in the universities, black folks on the committees, black folks on the leadership team, black folks on the subcommittee, black folks on the action team, and somehow you are approaching these spaces as if you have no power when you are maybe the most powerful person in the space. Activate your power. That came from a cartoon somewhere. Activate your power. That is not my speech. I haven't started my speeches yet. Here's my speech paper. I haven't started yet, but the ancestors are on me, and I need to say this. Whoever you are, you need to stop minimizing yourself, smalling up yourself, and activate your power. Now let me get into my keynote. Welcome, everyone. It's an honor for me to be here. I was telling a group earlier this afternoon that I broke a record today, or set a record today. Today, July the 30th, 2026, is my first time doing a emancipation keynote. I have done tons of keynotes. It just occurred to me, this is my first time. So on record, you are my second ever emancipation keynote. Normally I'm traveling out somewhere. This time I'm with you. But I'm also going to tell you why I feel like when I know I'm deserving of this keynote and it's the right timing. I'm going to talk to you about my journey of self-decolonization. My journey of working on myself so I could present to you today. My journey of unstocking myself. My journey of knowing more about myself. My journey of loving who I am. My journey of understanding my ancestors. My journey of desiring to be my ancestors' wildest dream. And that is what brought me here today with such power, because I have been working on my self-decolonization. The great Bob Marley says, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. On a day like this, when we are commemorating emancipation, we talk about remembering. We talk about honoring. We talk about recognition. We talk about celebration. We talk about praise. But we need to talk about what is written in your theme, futures of power. So this space is a space for remembering. This space is a space for honoring. This space is a space for recognition. It's a space for celebration, like our previous speaker just spoke to you about. It's a place for praise and joy and celebration. But it's also a place for activation. Write that down on your notepad somewhere. It's a space for activating our power. I did say activate. I did say activate. I didn't say go find your power. I did say activate. Because we are powerful. Many of us, we have just not activated our power. And so my work is guided by three singers. The first one is Bob Marley, who says, from his song, Redemption Song, emancipate yourself. The second comes from Lauryn Hill. And there's a song that Lauryn Hill sings that says, I get out. And so I've been working on my self-decolonization. And a big part of that is getting out of the boxes. If you have never listened to that song, I want you to listen it sometimes this evening, by Lauryn Hill, I Get Out. She says, I get out of all your boxes. Many of us, we have been placed in these boxes. We have been placed in boxes because of our sexuality. We have been placed in boxes because of the color of our skin. We are placed in these boxes because where we come from. We are placed in these boxes because of the flags we carry. We are placed in these boxes because various parts of our identity. I want you to realize a part of your knowing your power is to get out of the boxes that we are so neatly, and I'm going to use a word, safely placed in. Every safety is not powerful. Many of us, we have been trapped in these safe little boxes to keep us small. And I want you to realize, I get out is important. Listen to that song. And the third singer that I want to bring to you is the great Nina Simone. And her song is, I'm Feeling Good. Imagine me doing work on self-emancipation, self-decolonization. And one of the singers I am writing on is Nina Simone. And she said, I'm feeling good. But I want you to realize how powerful that I use Nina Simone in my work. Because Nina Simone is that same singer that talks about Mississippi goddamn. She's that same singer that talks about strange fruit. She's that same singer that reminded us that the artist needs to reflect the time. If Nina Simone was alive today, she'd be very angry with many of our artists who are hiding behind their fame, hiding behind their fortune, hiding behind their performances, and not willing to speak to the issues around us. And many of us, including people in academia, many of you who are leaders, we are guilty of that, hiding behind our titles and not speaking out. Can I say something very strong to you? I have thought about my job security at the University of Toronto more than once, more than twice, more than 3, 4, 5, 6 times. And you may say to me, Dr. ABC, you just got a second award for teaching excellence at the University of Toronto. Why would you be thinking about your job and your job security? Because I am black. And because I understand what anti-blackness looks like in institutions, and because many of us fail to understand what anti-blackness looks like, and the more I work on my self-decolonization, my self-emancipation, I understand the lay of the land. But get ready for this, but I also get to understand who I am. And I know I am an amazing professor, not because the University of Toronto underlines it and stamps the approval on it, but because I understand the work that I do and know who I am. And that is one of the issues we're having with far too many of us have no idea who we are. And so we don't walk in our power. I'm going to get to that more in a minute. So as I started my work on self-decolonization, as I said to you, I am guided by these 3 singers. Bob Marley, Emancipate Yourself from Mental Slavery. Lauryn Hill, I Get Out of the Boxes. And then Nina Simone, I'm Feeling Good. The work, the journey, and the celebration. The work, the journey, and the celebrations. One of the first things that I started to do as I think about emancipation is think about the trimmings. Listen to me carefully, everybody. Write it down. Thinking about the trimmings, the trappings, and the troubles I am constantly engaged in. Write it down. The colonial trimmings, trappings, and the troubles that I am constantly engaged in. I want you to think about on this emancipation celebration, all the trappings and trimmings of colonialism that you and we hold so dearly onto. Many of us, we are suffering. You know why we're suffering? Because of our desire to be in proximity to whiteness. Many of you black folks, many of us, we still think white is right. We have to learn to emancipate ourselves. We have to unstuck ourselves. We have to decolonize our minds. We desire to be seen by whiteness. We desire to be approved by whiteness. We question our capability until whiteness tells us we are good enough. And we question what we deserve. When I said working on self, this is what I'm talking about. Any one of us can write some work on decolonization. If you want to see the work out there, Google it. There are tons of people writing about decolonization. But even those persons who are writing about decolonization, they are trapped with the trimmings of coloniality. How are you decolonizing yourself? How are you understand? The more you decolonize is the more you understand your root. I want to read something for you. I want to read something exactly from my work that I'm doing. I want to read for you. My journey to decolonization. I want you to read some statements that I've owned. My journey is one of purpose, self-discovery, learning, unlearning, self-decolonization, self-emancipation. My journey offers a roadmap to intentionally decolonize oneself through my travel, mindfulness, self-reflection, reconnecting with our physical and spiritual roots. The second one, my journey is to understand the power of reclamation and its impact and influence on present day resistance and reassurance. My journey is to undo, get ready for this one. My journey is to undo deficit narratives about myself as a black man and descendants of slaves, and to establish a knowing of what I deserve so that I am able, listen carefully, to demand those things for my community as I navigate this world as an educator, leader, and advocate. Before I go to the next two, the more you work on knowing who you are, the more you connect to your roots of freedom, your theme, not mine, the more you connect to your roots, the more you can know what the branches bear. The more you connect to your root, the more you are aware of who you are. The more you connect to your root, the more you can celebrate. The more you connect to your root, the more you are self-assured. The more you connect to your root, the more you are in a position to activate your power. Next one. My journey is for me as an educator, community leader, and educator to pour into community. Let me just pause to say this. There's a thing we do in the black community a lot. We talk about pouring a lot. We talk about drinking it a lot. Let me say this because I'm going to be very strong with this one. You cannot pour if you have nothing to pour. You cannot pour if you are empty. You cannot pour if you are overused, if you are tired, if you are beat down. That's why I'm going to tell you later on what you need to do. I'm going to give you 5 things that I am doing that I'm going to share with you. You don't have to do them, but I'm going to give you 5 things. And one of them is I'm big on self-care. Because far too many of us as black folks, especially black women, you are called upon to feed the nation. You are called upon to pour into the young people. You are called upon to stand in the front. You are called upon to sit on this committee. You are called upon, you are called upon, you are called upon. But you are upset, you are angry, and you are miserable because you are empty. I'm going to come to it in a minute, you know. And so the last one, my journey is to gain, get ready, a clearer view of myself. Get ready. A clearer view of myself so that I can have a deeper vision for others. When you talk about going to your roots, you're talking about working on yourself. Why would you go to your roots? You're talking about getting to your roots to work on yourself so you can be of benefit. You can enact your power. You can do exactly what the community needs of you. So I'm going to leave you with 5 things that I want you to do as you activate your power. As you think about futures of power. 5 things I want to leave with you as we move forward. Emancipation celebration is a time of honoring, respecting, remembering, recognizing, celebrating, and praising. And today, you have included power in that list. You have included power in that list. And in that list, we're going to talk about 5 things. Ready? The first one is know who you are. I want to be very clear on this part of the conversation. A lot of us, we know who we are by our job title. So I am an assistant professor. I am the director of the Center for Black Studies. I am this, I am that. You are all of that. I want you to know that you are more than your signature. Be very proud of your signature. Hold it close to who you are. But let me tell you something. This morning, I was in my backyard. I'm in Jamaica as I speak to you. Coming to you from Jamaica, from the parish of St. Anne. And there are two workers in my backyard, and they're sitting on two benches that I dedicated to my mother and my father. I'll show you a picture of it later on LinkedIn. I plan to post the pictures. And he said to me, one of the workers, he said to me, wow, I see what you did with these benches. I said, I want to make sure I honor my mom and my dad. I am a child of Doris Adina Campbell. I am the son of Alman Lloyd Campbell. You are more than the titles on your signature. I am the best friend of Sheldon Smith, and I am the best friend of Kashka Watson. I am the best friend of Damian Crawford. I am the uncle to Jamie and Sawyers. I am the brother, the little brother to Cassandra Campbell. Why am I saying this? Because I want us to understand, as black folks, we have to be a little bit more intentional about how we work and walk in communities, how we see ourselves, how we value ourselves, because many of us, we lose hope when something happens at work, because every single part of our identity is locked into that job signature. If tomorrow morning I am no longer a professor at University of Toronto, I am still Dr. ABC. Professor, University of Toronto didn't give me that title. I have 4 degrees. I came to the University of Toronto with 4 degrees, and I may just leave with 5. I want you to understand, because I see many black folks, how you struggle with your identity, because every single thing about your identity is wrapped up in your email signature. You have to self-decolonize. You are so much more than the title that they offer you. And that's why some of you, oh, Dr. Campbell, don't go there. Yes, I will. That's why some of you so desperately hold on to those jobs, because the only part of your identity you have value in is the job title. Ancestors, you better stop, because they can't take this. They can't take this. This is too much for them. The next one I want to leave with you is to be a little bit bolder. Many of you have been acting below your level. That's the best way to put it. You have been manifesting below your level. You've been dreaming below your level. I'm going to be very frank and honest with you. Since I started my work September 2022 on self-decolonization, I am a different person. I am taller. I am bolder. I am brighter. I am stronger. I smile brighter. My skin glows more. I think I am more gorgeous. I think I am more loving. I think I am kinder. I think I am stronger. I think I'm even a better professor since I've been working on myself. I didn't say work on a project. You missed it. I didn't say work on a project. I didn't say work on a project. I didn't say work on a project. Oh, I am very good with the project. I said work on self. The next one is to be bold. I want you to walk with a little bit more audacity. When you go on social media, they have this thing nowadays to say on social media. They said, especially the black women, they said, oh, she speaks with such audacity, and she's exactly who she thinks she is. I want you to stop letting people put you down. We have this thing, get ready for this. We have this colonial thing we got from our colonial masters who dragged us to churches. I grew up in a Pentecostal church, and they taught us in church how to be humble. We have to humble ourselves so we can be exalted. And we grew up in that kind of sense. The same slave master who dragged us to church and taught us to be humble was the same slave master who owned hundreds of slaves, hundreds of acres of land, and was rich. And today, 2026, get ready for it, the descendants of slaves among us are still living from the benefits of their great, 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 great grandfather. When we talk about slavery, a lot of you like to be like, oh my God, I want to talk about slavery. Oh my God, this is too much for me. Not realizing that amongst you, living amongst you, are people who are alive today who are still benefiting from that. The third thing is learn to center yourself a little bit more. Center your blackness. Love your blackness. And I'm going to go there a little bit. When we talk about anti-blackness, not anti-black racism, anti-blackness, I want you to realize that if we don't be careful, even we ourselves, we operate in anti-blackness. We choose every single thing else other than ourselves. We admire every other thing other than ourselves. I want you to learn how to choose you a little bit more. The fourth thing I want to leave with you as you enact your power is to walk in community. I'm going to be very strong about this one. I want us to walk in community a little bit more. When I went to Ghana in last year, 2025, I was into a rural village called Koforidia. And for the first time in my life, I saw a real well. You know, you see well in picture books, but I've never seen a well in real life. And there's a well in Koforidia, Ghana. And when I passed it, there's a sign that says community well. It's a community well placed there so everyone in Koforidia can come and draw water from. But what struck me most than anything else was that on the well, there was an inscription of all the people who helped to dig that well. I want you to realize that we have to be well diggers. Our community is calling for a little bit more of us to be well diggers. We all show up to drink. We all show up to pull. You go to these events, people say, oh my God, I drank. Yes, you're supposed to drink. Don't ever be apologetic about drinking. But I also want us to be the ones to help dig the well. We need a little bit more well diggers in our community. On a day like this, I want us to remember that we all want to be our ancestors' wildest dream. And we cannot be our ancestors' wildest dream if we are in lack. So I want to call on you and I want to call on myself. I want us to be well diggers for our communities. And the last thing, as I wrap up, I want you to be in self-care. Before I came on, the speaker before me was very clear in telling you to go enjoy the weekend. I think he repeated that many times. It was very intentional. It wasn't coming from a place of being frivolous. He wasn't coming from a place of telling you, hey, just chill. He was making clear that you understand that a part of the work of powerful blackness is self-care. Far too many of us as black folks, we are engaged in the resilience. Oh, we love it. We got that check. Resilience, check. Resistance, check. Black power, check. Frontline marching, check. Holding the fort, check. Standing in the gap, check. All of that is checked. Especially you black women who are on this call. We owe our lives to black women. We owe our freedom to black women. We owe so much to black women. But I want to say to black women who are listening to me right now, I want you to engage in a little bit more softness. I want you to be a little bit more intentional about your self-care. I want you to be a little bit kinder to yourself, softer to yourself. Why are you saying this, Dr. ABC? Because it is where you get your power from. Far too many of us, we are losing out. We are angry. We are miserable. We are upset. We are easily triggered because we are running on empty. I want you to fill up. I want you to pull up to the well and fill up. Write that down in the chat, somebody. I want you to pull up to the well and fill up. We are upset. We are angry. We are disappointed. We are distressed. We are downtrodden because many of us, we are running on empty. I'm speaking from a place of knowing. I'm speaking from a place of facts. I have had the opportunity to speak to many black folks. And I have said to many of them, you are running on empty. You need to take care of self. Why? Because when we talk about power, power is big. Power is big. This is not power. Power is massive. It's big. It's strong. You can't engage in power if you're constantly down, if you're constantly weak, if you're constantly broken, if you're constantly hurt. Pull up and fill up. You're running on empty. And Nick, you just said it. And that is a tool of colonization, to be overworked. Let me say this, because you know I don't play. And I'm glad you are recording, because when I say something, I want my words to come back to me. You will never live to give me an award for the most overworked, underappreciated person. You will never. The University of Toronto will never live to give me an award for the most overworked, underappreciated person. I almost just cursed. Thank you, ancestors, for holding my tongue. Go to hell with that. You will never live to do that. Because let me tell you something. If you follow me well on my social media and on my posts, I always say you have to be well enough to be good enough. I'm going to say something very personal to you. If you ever, and I've had people ask me, very personal, very private. I'm going to say something very public. I take very good care of myself. I pour into me. I take very good care of myself. Very good care. And I continue and I want to take very good care of myself. I'm going to tell you why. Because when I show up in spaces like this, I cannot do this talk good enough if I show up broken, hurt, upset, miserable. Have you ever been to any kind of speaking engagement or workshop and you can sense the presenter is not well? Oh, listen to me carefully. I have been in this space millions of times. I can sense it when people are not well. And sometimes all that person needs is to take a little bit of step back. You have to say, I don't know why I'm giving you everything, but I'm giving you everything. I was in Asia for 13 days the other day, living my absolutely best life. And I got a couple letters from the universities. I love my job. Couple letters. And, you know, hey, Dr. ABC, can you, want you, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And I replied to people. Because that's me. I reply and I said, Dear Lisa, dear Dr. This, dear Andrew, dear Pam, dear Roy, dear Bill. I said, thank you for your email. I said, presently I am in Bali, living my best life. Presently, I am in Vietnam, living my best life. Presently, I am in Hong Kong, living my best life. You can ask them at the university. Ask them. I literally write that. Presently, I am in Thailand, living my best life. I am back in Toronto on the 21st. We'll talk on the morning of the 22nd and the 23rd. Have a wonderful day. I love my job. They could tell you. I have 2 amazing awards. But at that time, Dr. ABC need to make sure I fill up. I was filling up. Some of you, you are scared to tell people you are living your best life. Because somehow living your best life doesn't work with the colonial practices and the capitalism that we are so into. I'm leaving you with softness, everybody. I'm leaving you with softness. And in closing, I want to tell you this. In closing on my self-decolonization journey, I was in Ghana in 2024. I've been to Ghana every single year since 2022. And I was there in Ghana in 2024. And I want to give you context before I go. I have 2 more minutes. I was coming from the I think that's a proper name, the Ninchingum Museum. And it was a very heavy day for me. I have gone to the 2 dungeons. I was working on understanding the ancestral journey, and it was a very heavy. So when I was finished with that, 2 days of that, I checked in for 2 days in a beautiful luxury resort in the banks of the Volta River in Accra, Ghana, in the Volta region. I sat down at dinner on the banks of the Volta River. I was having a glass, waiting for my meal, and I looked out on the lawn of this luxury safari village resort, and all I could see was blackness. All I could see was Ghanaian people just engaging in unbothered blackness. And tears ran down my eyes. I started to cry. I just started to cry. And I sat at the table and I said, in a whisper to my body, I said to the ancestors, there is softness here. Stop thinking the work of anti-blackness, the work of roots of freedom, the work of power, the work of self-knowing, the work of disrupting racism is only rooted in resilience, resistance, and constant fighting. Thank you. That's the name of the museum. Everybody, that's the name of it. Thank you for putting it in the chat. I want you to know that the work also includes self-care, taking care of your skin, oiling that skin with in softness. Remember to engage in softness. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I'm trying to even speak because you took us there and back. I'm not even going to try to refer you took us there and back. Every note you hit, every word you said, just really embedded and entrenched in our spirits today. And you have landed and ended us. You know, I'm struggling with the tears too because I feel, and they're good, happy tears. I'm
yes.
so well fed.
Yes.
And looking at the comments in the chat, I know I speak for everybody.
Thank you.
You know, this has been a powerful, you know, circling, you know, coming full circle in our journey today. And I want to thank you, really thank you from the bottom of my heart, right? Thank you. Thank you on behalf of all of us.
Enough love. Enough love.
Good friends in the audience, I know we are